Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gregory Bovid, and on behalf of the entire Midland Concert Band, I want to welcome you to our spring concert, the last concert of the 2023-2024 season. Before we get too deep into the music, we want to publicly thank and recognize some great folks for helping make today's concert possible. Thanks to Tom Kuhn and his daughters for sponsoring this performance. We truly appreciate the support that they give to the band. Our opening selection was Liberty Fanfare by John Williams. It was written in 1986, and the piece was commissioned to celebrate the centennial of the Statue of Liberty on July 4th of that year. And it certainly is an appropriate piece to kick off today's patriotic Americana-themed concert. Now, you know, if you are a regular attender of these shows, that our May concert traditionally focuses on youth, and today's concert is no exception. This afternoon we have our scholarship recipients performing the entire concert with us, and after intermission we'll be featuring our outstanding 7th grade musicians. We'll introduce them all to you a little later on, but right now it's time to get on with the show. So I need your help with a couple things. First of all, if you haven't already done so, would you please silence your cell phones? Second, please do not use flash photography during the performance. And finally, I would ask you to please join me in officially welcoming to the stage the director of the Midland Concert Band, Mr. Joel Wiseman. To honor America, please rise as you are able and join in singing our national anthem. All right. To open our concert, we're going to hit the ground running with 3 pieces that are very much in keeping with today's Americana theme. First, we're going to call upon our old friend, John Philip Sousa. Now, Sousa himself was a great patriot, and many of his marches were, of course, based on patriotic themes. After he witnessed a spectacle called Americana in Chicago, which depicted a backdrop featuring the Liberty Bell, Sousa was inspired back in 1893 to name his then current creation and our opening march for today, the Liberty Bell March. Now our second selection is a triptych, a work with 3 movements, and it was written by Michigan native James Curnow. It's titled Nathan Hale Trilogy, and each movement represents an important place or event in the life of the Revolutionary War patriot Nathan Hale. The opening movement reflects the excitement and spirit of July 1775 when Hale fought in the siege of Boston. The slower second movement pictures the hamlet of Halesite, New York, where there is a monument that marks the place of Hale's capture and death. Before he was hanged, he made that famous speech concluding with the words, "I only regret that I have but one life to give for my country. The third movement is titled The Rangers, and it is meant to depict the spirit of the small fighting group of which Hale was a member. The men were respected for their fighting qualities and their daring leadership during dangerous missions. Now, our third selection is titled Purple Heart, Faces of Bravery, and it was written by David Schaefer as a tribute to a former music student at his Miami of Ohio University, Michael Cifuentes. Michael was killed on August 3rd, 2005, while serving in Iraq with other members of the Lima Company of the 3rd Battalion, 25th Marines. The best introduction for this emotional piece comes directly from the composer himself. Mr. Schaefer writes, "I have been blessed to work with several thousand students over my 32 years as a music educator and composer. The thrill of teaching, mentoring, and instilling a love of music in these young men and women has given me a lifetime of cherished memories. Over these years, there has been the heartbreak of losing former students." And you will certainly feel those emotions come through in this piece. Now, incidentally, many of the solo passages, in fact, there are 15 solo passages in this piece, and they're going to be played primarily by our scholarship winners. The 15 soloists that we will recognize at the end of the piece represent the 15 soldiers of Lima Company that were killed with Michael Cifuentes on that fateful day back in 2005. Back to the music now with the Liberty Bell March. As I mentioned earlier, our May concert traditionally focuses on youth. And from the standpoint of a somewhat older musician, now don't laugh about that. It is truly gratifying to see these young musicians immersing themselves in their art and making it an important part of their lives. It is certainly good for them, and it provides hope for groups like the Midland Concert Band that we will be having members to sustain us in years to come. The next selection on our program emphasizes the youth aspect of today's concert as we feature a fine young trombonist on Rimsky-Korsakov's Concerto for Trombone and Band. Now, Nikolai Rimsky-Korsakov had very little musical education or training in his early years because it looked like he was destined to be in the Russian Navy. But around 1861, when he turned 17, his latent musical talent just blossomed. The Concerto for Trombone and Band was written in 1877 for a fellow Marine officer, and the piece premiered in St. Petersburg on March 16th of 1878. The American premiere, interestingly enough, didn't occur until June of 1952 at the Mall in Central Park in New York with David Schumann playing trombone with the Goldman Band. Well, this afternoon, we have the pleasure of featuring one of our scholarship winners on this trombone classic. Currently a senior, Asher Goldberg will be graduating from Midland High School in a few weeks with plans to move on to Western Michigan University this fall to major in trombone performance. You'll see his bio in the program, and I believe it'll be up on the screen. And you'll meet him again when we introduce our scholarship winners later on. But right now, ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Asher Goldberg with Concerto for Trombone and Band. Of applause for Ash. Well, to close the first half of our concert, we're going to perform for you Jerry Billick's American Civil War Fantasy. And this piece begins by painting a musical picture of the mood of the United States just before the Civil War. We hear popular tunes of the mid-19th century, like Listen to the Mockingbird, Dixie, and Camptown Races. From the distance come the sound of drums and the strains of John Brown's Body, announcing the first signs of the coming conflict. Little whispers of Dixie and the battle cry of freedom become intermingled, and then we hear the brilliant strains of the South's rallying song, Maryland, My Maryland. This gives way to the Union hymn, the battle cry of freedom, and suddenly, when we hear Johnny Comes Marching Home, young Americans from both North and South have been called from their homes to fight one another. The music becomes meditative as the soldier recalls many songs of his day, weaving through the sentimental melody just before the battle mother. The thunder of drums pictures first the Northern armies on the move, marching through Georgia, and then the Southern troops and the Yellow Rose of Texas. With fragments of their favorite songs ringing in their ears, the two armies come closer and closer. The music builds in intensity, and finally, in a shattering explosion, the war is on. The war is a fleeting instant in the stream of history, and its noisy tumult soon dies away, giving birth to the battle hymn of the Republic, a republic restored, but not proud of its costly victory. Slowly, the music builds in grandeur, representing the hope of a peaceful and prosperous United States that eventually became a reality. American Civil War Fantasy. Now, following this selection, we're going to take a 15-minute intermission. Those of you who regularly attend these performances know that the band and its members have a strong commitment toward encouraging young musicians. One way we do this is by sending younger students to a week-long music camp put on by Herder's Music. We're still finalizing the arrangements for this summer, but I can tell you that we will sponsor at least 5 campers, thanks to a grant from the Alden and Veda Dow Family Foundation. Now, as many of you know, for well over 40 years, the band has conducted a scholarship award program for high school students. This year, because of the generous community support we receive, we are privileged to be making 11 awards this year, totaling $9,500. Another avenue used by the band is to bring in 7th grade musicians recommended by their school band directors, and we have them play a selection with us at our May concert. These students have been attending special practice sessions as well as rehearsing with the full concert band for the past several weeks. Our scholarship award winners and our 7th grade students are here on stage with us, and here to introduce these fine young musicians is our Director of Education, Sue Gesford.
Thank you, Greg. Thank you for coming. This is a fun concert for us. We're pleased this year to be able to offer 4 awards for excellence in music. The first one goes to Ashley Petrazak, who's a freshman horn player in the Dallas Symphonic Band under the direction of Steve DeReese. And then we have another horn player from Dallas Symphonic Band, Will Kalchak. He's a 10th grader. Matthew Lee is a 10th grade clarinetist in Dallas Symphonic Band. And Addison Rice is also a 10th grader at Midland High, where she plays clarinet in symphonic band, bass clarinet and clarinet choir under the direction of Eric Addard. And we also have 7 endowed or directed scholarships. The Pamela Rowe Memorial Scholarship for Flute is awarded to sophomore Isabella Earle from Meridian Early College High School. Her conductor is Matthew Shepard. Our other flute award is the Susan Burgess Memorial Scholarship, and the 2024 recipient is Meridian Junior Kylie Brayman. The Nancy Pollock Memorial Scholarship goes to alto saxophonist Ricky Wang, a 10th grader from Dow High, under the direction of Steve DeReese. The Bruce Eaton Memorial Scholarship is going to Midland High freshman trumpeter Sam Graycheck, who's under the direction of Eric Addard and Chris O'Connell. The Kent and Regina Peterson Scholarship for Low Brass is awarded to Dow Junior trombonist Owen DeLong. And the Stanford Rowe Memorial Scholarship is awarded to Dow High sophomore tubist Sean Mead. Our final endowed scholarship is our newest award, the Andrea J. Worth Percussion Scholarship. Andrea Worth is the daughter of Jane and David Worth. She's a graduate of Midland Public Schools and the University of Michigan School of Music. She was an acclaimed member of the Middlesex County Volunteers, fife and drums for over 25 years, and the Boston Camerata. She died tragically too young of breast cancer. We thank her parents for this award in her name. It goes to James Worth. That's James Wiseman, who's a percussionist, a freshman percussionist from Dow High. Thank you to all our donors and the Midland Area Community Foundation, and congratulations to these students. Also on stage now are our 2024 outstanding 7th grade musicians. The scholarship winners can take their seats or find their seats. In the flute section, and I'll just have them stand up as I read their name. From Jefferson, whose conductor is Nikki Brewski, London McNear, and Isaac Camacho, cellist. Also in the flute section from Northeast, whose conductor is Caitlin DeReese, Kaylee Smith. And from Meridian Junior High, Cadence Dowd. On oboe, we have from Meridian, Quinn Johnson. In the clarinet section today, from Jefferson, Diego Camacho Salas and Elise LeBlanc. And from Meridian, Reese Campbell. On alto sax from Northeast are Sydney Freeman and Trevin Eastman. On bari sax is Meridian 7th grader Ethan Earle. On trumpet from Jefferson is Amelia Wiseman. And from Northeast, Ian Ludwig. On French horn from Northeast, Nevaeh Skim. In the trombone section from Jefferson, Ben Elfman. And from Meridian, Sophia Beach. In the baritone section from Northeast, Alex Palicia. And we have two percussionists from Meridian, Jackson Baker. And from Northeast, Oliver Monterosa. These students were chosen by their conductors for their outstanding musicianship this year. And congratulations to the students, the directors, the parents for supporting music education. We are proud to share the stage with all of you.
Thank you, Sue. The piece chosen to feature these young performers is titled Shenandoah Valley, and it's an overture for band based on American folk themes, including Shenandoah and Down in the Valley. Composed by John Kenyon, this band favorite is an excellent work for teaching and performance by younger musicians. Back to the music now with Shenandoah Valley. Our next selection is titled American River Songs, and it's an arrangement by Pierre LaPlante that was put together back in 1988. The work was intended to be a moving tribute to an earlier time when our rivers and other waterways were lifelines for the growing nation. Featured tunes you may recognize include Down the River, Shenandoah, the Glendy Burke, which is an old Stephen Foster tune, and a delightful old Creole melody, La Bambula. Now, following American River Songs, the band is going to perform a piece by composer Robert W. Smith titled The Greatest Generation. The work is a tribute to those that changed our world in World War II. Written for the 75th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor and the gathering of the heroes from around the world on December 7th of 2016, the stirring composition pays tribute to America's greatest generation. The piece was premiered on December 6th, 2016 at the Pearl Harbor Survivors Gala in Honolulu, Hawaii, and it was also performed again on the morning of December 7th, 2016 at Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, as part of a ceremony at the USS Missouri overlooking the USS Arizona Memorial. These first performances were narrated by World War II and Normandy veteran Colonel Arnold D. Gabriel, Director Emeritus of the United States Air Force Band. This afternoon, it is my honor and privilege to provide you with that narration. The music continues now with American River Songs and The Greatest Generation. Born at a time of transition, promise, and prosperity, children of the early 20th century entered a world where anything seemed possible in America. In the aftermath of World War I, we saw America coming of age on all fronts. From the boom of Wall Street to the rise of major industry, the United States of America was quickly taking its place as the most powerful nation on earth. The Roaring '20s ushered in a new era of American dreams and indulgence. Popular culture was rich with entertainment and personalities such as Babe Ruth and F. Scott Fitzgerald. Radio was broadcasting to the heart of America, while the Four Horsemen of Notre Dame became household names for their college football victories. Only history could tell us these were temporary times, soon to be lashed by the winds of change and uncertainty. Shortly after the blackest of Mondays in October 1929, Franklin Delano Roosevelt was promising a new deal for America and declaring the only thing we have to fear is fear itself. While others in the world were plotting and sowing seeds of war, America spent most of the 1930s healing and growing. As the decade neared completion, we were once again entertained by major musical stars including Glenn Miller and Benny Goodman, while Clark Gable and Bette Davis lit up the silver screens across America. In 1940, we entered a new world of promise and prosperity, but it was clear to many that war would define this generation's coming of age. On December 7th, 1941, a day that lives in infamy, Pearl Harbor was attacked. The news spread like wildfire across the radio waves, changing the lives of all who heard it. America mobilized like no other society in history. In the weeks that followed, we sent our youth from all walks of life around the world in both directions, not to conquer, but to liberate. Farmers, truck drivers, miners, lawyers, and teachers from every ethnic background and religion joined the effort. FDR reminded us that we are now in this war. We are all in it, all the way. Every single man, woman, and child is a partner in the most tremendous undertaking of our American history. Americans believed in the cause. The freedoms of speech, religion, and economic prosperity became our vision. Not just for us, but for the entire planet. After hard-fought battles such as Midway and Guadalcanal, America led the world on June 6, 1944, in the largest amphibious invasion in history. With Pearl Harbor as the beginning, and the beaches of Normandy as the beginning of the end, this noble generation rose to heights not seen before or since.
I get the honor of introducing our next, it's not a piece, it's a selection of pieces. So those of you who have read my bio or been to several of our concerts, you already know I've been serving in the U.S. Army for about 18 years as an Army bandsman. So it goes without saying, honoring our troops, the jobs they do, the sacrifices they make, starting right from that very first sacrifice of signing their name on the line and saying, I'll do whatever you need me to do. Honoring those decisions is very important, and I hope it's very important to you too. So in this next selection of pieces, we're going to play each of the Armed Forces medleys. And if you have served in one of those branches, please, when you hear your medley, stand and be recognized. And if you have a family member that you would like to honor by standing in their behalf, please do so. Stand and be recognized as well. We're going to be bringing the house lights up just so we can look around and see all of our faces and safely stand. And please join me in honoring our armed forces.
Our salute begins with the Army and their caisson song. Army vets, please rise. Next, we salute the Coast Guard with their marching song, Semper Paratus. We salute the Marines with the Marines hymn. Next, we salute all those who served in the U.S. Air Force, flying into the wild blue yonder. Our final salute is to the U.S. Navy. Anchors away. Our special thanks goes out to all those who have served and are currently serving. As always, before our final selection, we have a little bit of business to take care of. Once again, thanks to each and every one of you for coming out to support us, not just on this particular Sunday afternoon, but during the entire season. As I tell you at every performance, those of us here on the stage are strictly here for the fun of it. And believe me, today was a lot of fun. We simply love to play, and having an appreciative audience as you have been today simply adds to the enjoyment that we receive through this wonderful thing we call music. Special thanks are in order to our 7th grade musicians and to their parents for bringing them to all the special practices. Also to our scholarship recipients. Thanks to our ushers, our stage crew here at the center, and all others who work behind the scenes. Special thanks as well to the crew from MCTV for their fine work recording, producing, and broadcasting their performances. And a very special thank you is in order for today's concert sponsors, Tom Kuhn and his daughters. We truly appreciate your support. We also want to thank once again Ash Goldberg for his fine trombone solo. I would love to tell you what the date is for our next concert here at the center, but unfortunately I have no idea what it is. Today's concert is a little earlier in the year than usual, and next season's dates have not been finalized, but we'll start publicizing the new season around Labor Day. If you need to know something before that time, you can check us out on Facebook or visit our website, www.midlandconcertband.com. Now, I have one more thank you to give, and this one is a thank you in advance to our vocalist on our final selection. To close today's Americana performance, as well as our 48th season of making music here in Mid-Michigan, we couldn't think of a better choice than an old favorite. And to make this piece even more special, we're going to feature a fine vocalist from within the ranks of our flute section, Emma Longoria. We know you'll enjoy Carmen Dragon's arrangement of America the Beautiful. Thank you, Emma. Thanks to you, our audience. Enjoy your summer, and we'll see you in October.
grateful for spacious skies,